Okay, this is Force 13 Open Mic, where it's less formal. You have myself, David, East Coast of Australia, Adam, Cayman Islands, and uh, Jasper. So, uh, Adam, back to you.
Yeah. So, um, at least we do know that now there is indeed a planned recon mission to check out the Caribbean system during the next few days. We shall wait and see what does indeed happen.
Yeah.
And for our viewers, Lee over there in Scotland. Lee, you still here? I think he might have popped out.
No, he's not here. But no, no.
Anyway, at this time, I guess we'll leave the Caribbean system to do its business, and we'll be back with updates on the Caribbean system, probably either later tonight or tomorrow. Just give basically just a quick update on how things are going, and the updates will be more frequently as soon as the thing gets tagged and it's kicking off. But for now, it's just a quick general update on that.
Okay, I think we might have another guest. Michael, you here?
Yep.
Okay, how are things your way and your thoughts on what's been discussed?
Again, I've been watching the stream. Um, so yeah, it's interesting what's going on at the moment with Bonnie and 91E. The 91E stayed at 60% at the moment. Um, Also, I just have some news to give you guys, British-wise. Some business news that came in about BHS to be wound down as a rescue attempt fails because it's quite a large chain in the UK. Department store BHS will be wound down with a loss of up to 11,000 jobs after efforts to find a buyer failed. The decision followed a lengthy bidding process aimed at saving BHS, which went into administration in April. But none of the offers was judged acceptable by the administrators. Duff and Phelps, which blamed to be seismic shifts in the retail sector for the collapse of the chain. All 163 BHS stores will be holding closing sales over the coming weeks. Former owner Sir Philip Green said that he's saddened and disappointed by the biggest retail collapse since Woolworths in 2008. A spokesman said that the billionaire Topshop owner had hoped to see the company sold as a going concern. Staff at one London store were only informed about the decision by a journalist. Customers were then told to leave the store and the shutters closed. Um, and Hilco Retail Services have appointed to assist the process in winding down the BHS store network. BHS collapsed, 163 stores to close, 11,000 jobs at risk, including 8,000 members of staff and 3,000 non-BHS employees who work in the stores.
That's not good.
Hopes of rescuing the store chain have rested on a late offer from a company led by retailer Greg Tufnell and reportedly backed by Portuguese money. But sources told the BBC that the financial backing needed bid failed to materialise. Other bidders who failed to convince the administrators, including a consortium led by Matalan founder John Hargreaves, as separate offers from Sports Direct, Mike Astley, and also Pound Stretcher boss I think that's Tayob. But quite a big blow to the UK economy. So that's the biggest collapse since Woolworths as well.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, Michael, for a little bit of, I guess we could call it a business tidbits in a tropical update. It's quite unique. Thanks very much. Is there anything you'd like to add about weather-wise up your area?
It's been really topsy turvy in the UK because at the moment, well, it's up in really until today. Still getting about 14 degrees Celsius up in Edinburgh and 17 in Belfast, whereas about 12 in London. Though looking forward to this weekend though, we've got possibly on the way temperatures in around about the 25 maybe. Um, Peak, what they're saying at the moment is 22 on Sunday. But then looking into next week, mainly set to be cloudy with some rain during Tuesday. But set to be we're just gonna have to wait and see what the weather really does, and then just go from there really. Today's summary had a UV index of around about 7, low pollution and pollen, and looking quite good. The air pressure is at the moment is about 10-20 millibars, but falling. But it's set to remain average. Might go just about down to low pressure, around about 10-15 millibars before going back up again on Saturday and Sunday. It's set to be a sort of average sort of next few days.
Sounds interesting. Hmm.
Can I just put something in as well about the current trend it's playing in football?
Um, sure. Okay. Make it small and quick though.
Okay. Results from today: Mexico played Chile in a friendly. Mexico won that 1-0. Armenia played El Salvador, winning 4-0. They're away to El Salvador. And currently playing at the moment, 64 minutes played. England versus Portugal still remains 0-0. Looking at the stats from the game, which I'm just saying, at 35 minutes, Bruno Alves for Portugal was sent off. So we'll have to. This average game, not looking like this. I don't think there's going to be any goals. It's going to end up a draw. I'll be right back.
Yeah, currently I'm starting to screen share here. Bonnie, visible floater. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay. The best, it's a little bit of dry spot on the southeast side, but on the north, it's growing on the north side there.
Yeah, eventually that'll all wrap around and in. The wind shear not a problem. The outflow is better than it ever was, and it all in all, Bonnie is one beautiful looking system.
Yeah.
That's it is.
We couldn't have said that a couple of days ago, though, when Bonnie was
No.
still Bahamas area and heading towards South Carolina.
Hmm. It's not often the NHC redevelop systems like this when they are post-tropical.
Well, They do, but it's not too often we get it that the NHC says this thing won't redevelop or the chances of redevelopment are low, and then 3 to 6 hours later it's back to a
Mm.
tropical system. Not too often that happens, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it would be more often for, like, I think it was Ophelia that redeveloped. I mean, if this was in the tropics and would be a remnant of some sort, then it would be a bit more. That happened a couple of times, but post-tropical and redeveloping from that is
Mm.
not very, because post-tropical I think means exotropical.
No, well, there's a difference between post-tropical, extratropical, and so with post-tropical systems, there's a chance for redevelopment. It has weakened. It had lost its tropical characteristics. Not in the way that it's transitioning, but rather it weakens to not be classified as a tropical system. There are certain requirements that a system has to have for a system to be considered a tropical depression or storm or whatever. The reasons for Bonnie's transition to post-tropical was that there was a lack of convection, a lack of thunderstorms over the system and over the system's center for 12 hours, and because of that, that is what classified it as post-tropical. Um, Bonnie still had a vigorous circulation. The winds were still, as of tropical depression intensity. Yes, since then it had weakened in its wind speeds. However, had re-intensified in its wind speeds a little later on, but it still didn't have the convective feature. Didn't have enough of that convective cloud cover to be considered as tropical. And now that it's building the convection, it's gotten those thunderstorms, wrapped it around the low-level center, and the overall winds and the wind speeds and all that's just all coming together, and Bonnie's really doing quite well. I'm definitely very impressed with Bonnie. No doubt in that. I'm very impressed with Bonnie.
Yeah, there is something about the Atlantic compared to other basins, that really survives and really is rather interesting. You don't have to look very far in storms to see that in the Atlantic.
Yes,
Most
Can
indeed.
I quickly interject with some breaking news?
Go for it.
There was some news that came in 40 minutes ago from Newark Liberty Airport in the United States. There was a scare or some sort of threat involving a British Airways plane from it landed at Newark International Airport, 1300 local time, 700 Greenwich Mean Time. Airport police moved in to the far corner of the airport for further inspection. Passengers were evacuated from the plane and luggage removed. Sniffer dogs later found nothing suspicious, and I can't see what anything else that has been reported on that. But there was some sort of scare in the US involving a British Airways plane. And also David Cameron's currently live in the faces questions surrounding the EU. There's stuff that's been going on for ages. It's and also the England game still remains 0-0, 73 minutes played, and that's it.
All right. Some aircraft reconnaissance news. Looking at the data that they have, they're finding more areas in the storm with the 35 to 40 knot of wind, and these particular areas are the part of the storm, the southwest part of the storm, and the northeast part of the storm. So I think it is pretty almost safe to say we could indeed have Bonnie back to tropical storm intensity. Just waiting official report from National Hurricane Center. That's all we need to do now.
The only real threat, she will be extratropical by then, but that will be the Azores yet again.
Well, actually, looking at it, it'd be Bermuda first before Azores.
Depends where it goes. I think it would be too far north there.
It is expected to literally pull eastwards from now onwards, and it's pretty much, I would say, close to in line with Bermuda. So those in Bermuda should keep a close eye out. I definitely think it is still possible that the system could remain as tropical when it does go through there. But however, I do expect after that time it will definitely transition into an extratropical cyclone by the time after it moves out of the Bermudan area.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, I think that pretty much covers everything. Every single little thing we practically covered. There are no loose ends, and we're good for now.
Which is good.
Yeah. Any updates on what's next on the schedule, by any chance?
Ooh. No idea.
David, maybe you would want
I
to
think
come.
it might be Lee's show. I'm not 100%, but we'll just play by ear for the time being.
Yeah, all right, sounds good to me.
I think it
Yes,
was
so
today.
looking at it, definitely I would say for Bonnie, it would be if it indeed impacts Bermudan area, it would be on the northern side of Bermuda, and they would be getting the southern periphery of the system, likely to be maybe 100 or so miles to the north, maybe even a bit more than that. But we shall see what happens. Should be about another 48, 72 hours by the time it reaches out that direction, I would say. Maybe closer to 48, but we will see.
Yeah.
Luckily, the northeastern U.S. will not be having any effects from Bonnie. So luckily, you guys there are spared from this for now. Um, Definitely should keep an eye. Everyone from Florida all the way up to the East Coast should keep an eye on the next possible system, which could be called Colin, depending on what happens. As I said, it's many days away, and a lot will happen between then and now. We could have this system end up going through central Cuba out into the Bahamas and out to the Atlantic. We could have this thing go through the Yucatan Channel into northwest Florida and through the southeast U.S. A lot of things can happen. It's just a matter of wait and see, really. But as I said, over the next coming days, there will be more information on the system coming out, and as we get closer to the middle of the weekend and going into next week, there will be more of a constant information coming out about that system. And keep in touch. We will keep you informed on that.
Guys, I do have some more news coming in. This came through a couple of hours ago. The France floods, Leveur set to close as Seine rises further. The world's most visited museum in, I think it's Leveur in Paris, is set to close on Friday amid worsening floods caused by days of torrential rain. The move will allow staff to move works at risk of damage to higher parts of the gallery, a statement said. The Seine, which runs through Paris past Leveur, has risen 5 meters above normal levels. Heavy rains across Europe have left at least 10 people dead, most of them in Germany. More downpours are forecast right through the weekend across the span of Central Europe, from France to Ukraine. With as much as 50 millimeters or 2 inches of rain falling in some parts in just a few hours. Transport, tourism hits. Emergency barriers are being put up along the Seine, which burst its banks in places. Its levels are forecast to peak overnight. Announcing the closure, Leveur said the aim is to move work situated in areas vulnerable to flooding to safety by moving them to higher floors. Another much visited attraction, the Musée d'Orsay, I think that is shutting its doors early on Thursday. And also Rail Opera SNCF announced that the closure of the RERC line, which runs alongside the Seine in central Paris from 1600 local time, 1400 Greenwich Mean Time. And also some news came in on Wednesday that 5 people had drowned in their own homes. That's all from that, and I think that's about it. Yeah. Back to you guys.
And this is Force 13's Open Mic. We'll continue to 22. I think it's UTC. Then Lee and I will be doing his show.
We have an update on the England versus Portugal game. We're now at 80 minutes played, and England took a shot, but unfortunately it was off target. They've just taken another one from the live match stats. They've had 3 shots on target, and also defender Ryan Bertrand was a doubt for today because he suffered a knock which left him at the first training session. And set to be fit for the tournament in France, though. And also just coming up now on to extra time. It won't go to extra time. It's only an international friendly. They will have to wait and see. The Euros, it will have to go to extra time, then also penalties as well. Should be a bit of a headache, but anyhow. Big on football in the Force 13 team as well, aren't we, guys? Hello?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on material for Lee's show.
Okay. Yeah, I was also getting some stuff together and ready as well, guys, for we're gonna see if I can put together some possibly some content to put on to the live streaming service when we're not around. So it's just looking back at some old storms, also some possibly some stuff to do with astronomy, and possibly a couple of segments for Astronomy Hour to keep you guys nicely entertained. And then just now looking, see if there's any other news just coming in. Nothing as of yet. Looking at looking tech, Facebook stakes by Gorka attack thunder. Okay, something a bit strange there. Got science news. The first two Slovenian dragon eggs hatch. And MP sound alarm on neglected soils. Pluto's beating heart explained. That might be something to go into in astronomy hour. And I've just looked at the health stories, and none of them look entirely suitable. Here we go. Something about education. Special needs pupils need more support. Special schools in England are struggling to support the 1.1 million pupils with special needs or disabilities in mainstream classrooms. A survey of 1,100 school leaders found delays to assessments, insufficient budgets, and cuts to local authorities were hampering their ability to cope. The study by the Key, which provides leadership and management support to schools, calls for increased funding. The government says it has increased funding for those with high needs. Yeah, I'll believe that for 1 second. Department for Education DFE statistics published last year showed that there were more than 1.3 million children in England, 15% of pupils identified as having special needs or disabilities. So that could be something good coming through for the educational side, because I'm actually autistic myself, so that might be something coming through to help out. Also news coming in the entertainment and arts industry. Singer Prince died of an overdose reportedly. And also director Keira Knightley comments hurtful. Directors Knightley comments. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Also, Clarkson show to begin in South Africa. Watching Top Gear the other day, they were going through Southern America with a lot of offensive signs on their cars.
Well, talking about that, well, I do remember when the famous Three Musketeers of the original Top Gear, when they had their special episode in Argentina, when they had posted bumper stickers on their cars about the Falkland War, which was a bit of a taboo.
Actually, Adam, correction on that. Is that it's Clarkson's registration plate was the problem, because it was H982 FKL.
Yeah, and that was I think it was the time that was basically a timestamp of Falklands, which is a bit of a taboo and very sensitive thing with the RGs, as we do know the RGs had lost the Falkland Wars when they tried to take over the Falkland Islands.
Breaking news.
Had a dispute over those islands, whether it belongs to Argentina or the UK. At the moment, they are still British and proud to remain British.
Okay, we've got breaking news coming in as well. England have scored. Chris Smalling scoring at 86 minutes, 1-0 to England. 3 minutes left on the game. There should be a little bit left of injury time as well. Best guess at the moment, about 5 minutes to play.
Yeah. Also, I do have a little bit of more news on the tropics front with
Hang on. Something else that Nathan's just pulled up as well is that there's some breaking news coming in from Syria. Syria bomb blast. The British-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, which tracks conflict using sources on the ground, confirmed that a blast took place in the northern area of Latakia, I think that is. That's just come through in the last few minutes.
So this and many news like this and defense news will be talked about in the later show of the Defense Hour news. Soon and Defense Hour soon to come. Keep in tune for that. Right, so back to the news about the tropics. Speaking specifically about tropical depression Bonnie, the new intensity forecast for the system has now most of the intensity models now calling for Bonnie to be a tropical storm, if not already within the next 12 hour to 24 hours. And that's not if Bonnie is already a tropical storm. Still awaiting on the advisory from the NHC, which should be out in about and I'd say about an hour plus from now.
5 p.m. EDT. So it should be in 30 minutes, right? 25
actually,
more or less.
Actually, I am mistaken. You are indeed correct.
Oh, yeah. Next complete advisory at 5 p.m. EDT. Whether they will have the complete plane information or just satellite estimates, that will be remain to be. Maybe they will put out an partial advisory later, but I guess it will be a tropical storm.
Yes.
So in about 25 minutes, or even earlier.
Right. Yes. Also, a little update on the reconnaissance mission. The reconnaissance aircraft is definitely now checking out the northern sectors of the storm, where the heaviest of the convection is at right now. So they're now checking that area out. I am intrigued to see what they will indeed find.
Except some intense thunderstorm. Oh yeah. Be interesting.
Indeed.
Now just checking out the latest on the news and also sporting front. England game now going into its final moments now. Currently at 90 minutes plus one, a little bit of added time. Just having a look to see how much added time there'll be. Also, we have substitutions in the last minutes or so. Jordan Henderson came on for England, replaces Dele Alli. And also substitution, Eder replaces Ricardo Carvalho. Now at plus 2 minutes, just should be just coming up to the end of the game now. Now just checking the news just to see if there's anything else that has come through in the last few minutes. We do also have the breaking news about the Syria bomb blast. So it says well, that's surprising, near a mosque. That's very surprising.
currently ADT on Sims have her as a T2.0, which would be 30 knots or 35 miles an hour. According to them, it will be only a 5 mile an hour increase. Currently have weakening flag and rapid weakening flag off. So according to them, she's intensifying. Let's see.
And that's it, guys. We have full time on the England versus Portugal game. It's 1-0 to England. With Chris Moore scoring on the 86th minute, and also Bruno Alves getting sent off for Portugal at 35 minutes. So that's the end of the football for today. I do believe the Macedonia and Iran game got. I believe it might have been abandoned. Just double checking on that.
Some breaking news: advisory 25 is in, and Bami is up to 35 miles an hour.
Getting there.
Pressure 1008, moving northeast at 6 miles an hour.
Nice, real nice. Yeah. So at this rate, I would say if anything, TD Bonnie gets put up to TS Bonnie on next advisory. I think at this point, maybe the NHC is being a little bit conservative on that. But we'll leave it as is with that, and likely to see it yeah.
The forecast advisory says it will intensify to a tropical storm. Let's see what the time frame would be. Early morning on Friday, according to the NHC.
So pretty much following same suit as the intensity models, basically.
Yeah. And will remain a tropical storm late at 2 p.m. on Friday. So after that, it's a bit uncertain what she will do. But at this time, personally, I think those 35 miles an hour were estimates from satellite data. Because ADT on Sims shows the exact same thing. But 30 knots. So.
So, if you guys, any guys watching has any questions or comments, if you're watching live, put them in the comments to the right, or put them below. If you're watching in the archive and after the stream, I'll be happy to have answer any questions you guys might have.
Yeah.
Also, just a quick announcement as well, if there's any new viewers today, is that I'm almost finished on the templates for the hypothetical seasons, and I'll announce as soon as I am ready to start making them. I'll put that announcement out on my YouTube channel. I'll be doing hypotheticals for all basins, but no worldwide animations. And there'll also be possible tornado animations possibly coming out as well. So it's something to watch out for, guys. And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, if you guys have any questions or comments, whack them in the comments to the right. And now just sort of filling time now, keeping the stream going, and probably go silent for a little bit because this is the open mic, and so yeah.
Also, the lowest pressure found by the reconnaissance mission was indeed 1008 millibars. So it's an indication that she's getting stronger.
Well, as I said from earlier, Bonnie is a fighter, and today she proves
Yes, it
it.
is.
Yeah.
Bonnie is a fighter.
And shows how these storms can really intensify once they get up into on the Gulf Stream to get the energy they need.
Also, do you know what I can't believe about last year as well? I can't believe that we more or less witnessed one of the most active Pacific hurricane seasons on record, but technically is the most active.
Yeah.
It fell just shy of 1992 on the front of named storms.
And when you look at that data and then you realize how lucky Hawaii are, actually. Not a single hit.
Yeah, because Tropical Storm Ela came close. Ayun sort of came close, but the subtropical ridge sort of drove it back again towards the west. Then also had Felicia being killed off by the subtropical ridge. Also, Guillermo came close, but just went north just slightly. Also, Hilda came close as well, but weakened and turned southwards. Also had Kilo as well, passing south as a tropical depression. Kilo's it struggled to intensify, I believe, because and then it does look. Let's see. Yeah, it says struggled to intensify just a little bit, but I believe that was because of the close, quite close hurricane. Just double checking which one. Yeah, it's quite close to Hurricane Loki. Just struggled to intensify just slightly on that front, because so yeah. And so we also have Ignacia that came close as a category Category 1, maybe Cat 2, but then turned north and went north of Hawaii. Same with Himena as well. That dissipated just north of Hawaii. Malia, but that was quite far away. Nyala also turned south. Oho making a close approach as well. Tropical Depression 8C, that was out more closer to the Westpac. Nora as well, making a close approach, but then dissipated before Hawaii. Olaf, just getting into the CPAC a little bit. That's about it for the season. So last year wasn't quite as lucky, but the Storms were still quite weak. When they had, I believe it was Azelle passed through as a tropical storm.
Yeah, at that time I was really nervous what she was going to strike at. First, many models thought this was going to be a Category 3 landfall, but at the end it was tropical storm. Because all that dry air just destroyed it.
There's a bit of a scare as well because on approach into the Central Pacific, the storm re-intensified briefly to a Category 2. So they thought the models at the time they thought the models were going to play out.
Yeah.
Also, quite a big surprise as well was Hurricane Karina.
Yeah.
Right.
That sort of meandered for quite a while. Formed near the Baja California Peninsula and intensified just briefly, becoming a hurricane. Sustained tropical storm status for a number of days before turning back on itself and becoming a Category 1 for about 24 to 36 hours, weakening to a tropical storm again, holding that for about a day, and then weakening to a depression, whilst moving back towards the east. Also at the time, I think it was also Karina was also sort of caused to weaken by Marie and also Lowell. I think Lowell as well was they were sort of destroying each other more or less. Also, Karina's remnants were absorbed and merged with Marie on the 28th of August. When the storm was moving out after peaking as a Category 5. Although it was quite quick, the intensification of Marie. Going from... it went from Cat 1 to 5 in about 24 hours.
Yeah.
And it was Tropical Storm to 5 in about 36.
I think it was not there. That's the Eastern Pacific. There is, lots of warm water focused into one place. Compared to the Atlantic, there is. That's why you just have these storms that form, intensify, and die out.
Jesper.
Mm-hmm.
What's the sun's altitude now? I know you know, usually know how high the sun is.
Well, at your place or?
Well, that place Sanchez.
Jesper.
Yeah.
Also, Anna made a close approach to Hawaii in 2014.
Yeah, it was basically just one storm that really, came close. That is. Let's see.
Yeah, well, Azelle made landfall, but then also Anna came close as well.
Nobody nailed the summer solstice now. So.
Also, we
we
should have seen it coming really. 2015 season after 2014. A lot of people were being quite optimistic and saying, calling for a more lower time and sort of lower activity that year, 2015 after 2014's active year. Because some of the forecasts had they only expected 19 named storms, 11 hurricanes, and 4 majors, and the CPC also had 15 to 22 named storms, 7 to 12 hurricanes, and 5 to 8 majors. They still had an above average season, uh, but not as much as as it actually happened, because there was 26 named storms, 16 hurricanes, and 11 majors.
Hmm.
It was that year was 2015 was quite an unprecedented season.
And when you know, least is expected, there is that one storm that, you know, comes up and just goes off the charts.
Yes. Yeah.
I think you all know what I'm referring to.
Yeah, we know exactly what you're referring to.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it's happened very often now, you know. It was the same in 2012. I mean, I can even say, you know, we were, you know, yeah, no more storm is really going to form. And guess what? Sandy said hello. And became the dominant one that season. And even with the early storms, it can really make a difference.
Well,
Lee,
anyway.
going by you talked about how high the sun is going by. I picked the Glasgow station in the UK, and right now the peak is 56.4 degrees above the horizon, and on the 21st, I think this is solstice day, 57.6. So.
That is
pretty high.
Also, we have some news as well, guys, coming in a few hours ago. The new design £5 note for entering circulation on the 13th of September has been released. It's going to be made of plastic now rather than cotton paper. There's a new design of Winston Churchill as well on it too.
Great. Like, seriously, why do we need another fiver? But still, plastic? Jeez, look, what's happening now? Are we turning into Canadians now?
Yes,
No offense to,
yes, we are.
No offense to the Canadians, but I mean, you are technically using plastic money, and I'm not talking about debit and credit card.
But plastic money better as well. It survives the washing machine washing machine in the pocket.
I do agree, but guess what? It doesn't survive the dryer, it doesn't survive heat, and the thing melts in fire.
We all know what it is because
but at least you might still be able to see it though if it's still in the washing machine. So it stands a fighting chance. It does stand a fighting chance.
Yeah, sure, but I am very disappointed. I mean, I was extremely mad when the Canadians changed the Canadian dollars into plastic bills, and now I'm just getting even more mad with them changing the pounds to at least the £5 to plastic.
I just jumped in here just for another plane crash.
Sorry?
There's another plane crash now as well.
What is with planes crashing these last couple of days?
It's on the stream. It's crashed near Nashville. No word on injuries yet. A David, so I say 18 jet.
Okay, guys. Just to say to the guys watching the stream now, we're just We're now coming up to the end of this open mic, and after this, I believe we'll be taking an hour break. I don't know. I think the stream could be going offline, or we're waiting.
No,
For...
it's
No,
Lastro.
it will be
No, stream.
there will be
Stream's not
Lee's
going off.
climate show.
Yeah, Lee will
Okay,
be back
just
in
quickly.
an hour.
Just quickly as well, some breaking news has come through from Nashville, Tennessee. Navy FA-18 jet, part of the Navy's elite Blue Angels, has crashed near Nashville. No word on injuries. And also, so we'll be going off in just a moment as well.
Put Adam.
And it'll be for the climate show with Lee. In 1 hour and 1 hour and 2 minutes. Sorry, that's be starting at 1000 British no, sorry, 1100. No, 2300 British summertime. Sorry, I'm not with it today. But yeah, and also so that's 1000 UTC, 2200 UTC. Okay, finally got that right.
Just say UTC and it will be easier.
But you're now watching you're watching Force 35, and we're now just coming up now to our finish. So I think that's about it now, guys, and we'll see you a bit later. Do you guys say bye as well?
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye everyone.